Yo, what up YouTube? Welcome to a new weekly review video. We're going to be breaking down DXY Euro USD. As always, I asked you guys in the comments, what do you think the next weekly candle will do? Make sure to comment again this week. I saw some good predictions last week. If you had the wrong bias, we'll break down and review everything here in this video. But make sure to comment down below what you think DXY will do this upcoming week. Do we go bullish or bearish? Let me know in the comments. It was an interesting week. We had FOMC. We had euro interest rates, and it was also the end of the monthly candle. So Thursday here was the end of the monthly candle. You can see there was a big move. I'm going to be breaking down how everything unfolded here. Let me just quickly switch over to the Discord so you guys can see my initial thoughts, right? So on Discord I had this gap on DXY, right? I want to see price trade towards that. You can see the closure was sort of okay for higher, and I was definitely looking for higher, and you can see this daily candle actually pushed up higher into the or towards the volume imbalance. And if we look over here, I decided to sideline after the closure here because we just stayed in a range and we had FOMC coming up as well, right? So if I switch over back to trading view, this is what it looks like, and we've got this candle here, right, that closure, and we can see price on Wednesday with FOMC moved higher into these highs over here. That was the draw on liquidity. I wanted to see a price go into the gap. It failed to do so, unfortunately, and then we had end of the month over here with the euro interest rates. If I go to the 4H, you can see early in the week as well, right? Monday over here made a down close candle, started to close above, we tagged it over here, right? So we had this OB, there we go, and then price started to move up. We had an effigy also being respected, right? And this was the catalyst to move higher back into these highs. And then on Thursday, which honestly I was not expecting this type of big move, right? This one to go and take out all the way to this low. I was not really expecting that. I was definitely aiming for this high up here still. I looked for a setup on Wednesday as well. It was an IFEG setup. I'll break that down real quick here, right? So we have to go to euro for that one, and you can look at the discrepancy between these two assets as well. Look at euro here, right? And then look at the pound. Pound took out all these highs up here, right? And then the euro is not even close to these highs here. So there's a bunch of manipulation going on in the market right now. And once it gets back into sync, you'll see an extended move in one direction. And I think that can actually happen next week. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Of course, we'll break that down in the next weekly review video. So basically what I was waiting for a run on buy side with SMT and then an IFEG. So we had this SMT here because GBP USD ran these highs, right? So we had SMT here. I waited for an FEG to form, an IFEG here, right? And that was my cue to tag into and then go for a short. So I entered like literally over here. It ran down. I think it was almost I think it was almost 1 hour here, and then I just left the PC and I set my alerts on the high and the low. I got an alert like price just reversed from here and started to do this massive bull run up, right? So that was 1 L for me in that weekly candle, even though I had a couple right predictions. And that doesn't always mean you're gonna get a winning trade, right? But I would still take this trade 10 out of 10 times with the SMT, right? And the violation of a bullish array here, because there's nothing down here to push up from. You could argue this breaker because it never got retested, I guess. But I definitely wouldn't choose that if there wasn't an FEG present as well. Unfortunate. We'll see what the next weekly candle does. What do you guys think this looks like? Do you think this is a continuation purge for lower, or are we actually gonna go back to discount somewhere here, right? And we'll use this range then. Do you think we're gonna go higher from discount? Let me know in the comments. We'll break down what happened in the next weekly review video, of course. But if we just go day by day, right? Monday, manipulation, start of the weekly candle, right? Back into premium, hitting this OB here. Then price declined, and that closure we got, right? If we go to the daily, there we go. This Monday's candle, right? Looks like a proper closure for lower, right? That's why price also went and back down into these lows and Yeah, that's a correct prediction. However, it is very difficult to find a setup here, because it just chopped around a lot, right? There's no real entry model for me personally. There was no IFG to work with either. So even though price delivered into the sell side as I expected, and a couple of the guys in the group actually caught it, so that's I like to see that, but personally I did not. But yeah, with this chop it's very difficult, and definitely in this occasion our lower time frame trader probably would he would probably maybe catch a trade, but there's a lot of liquidity runs, as you can see here as well, right? Just purges on highs continuously. Makes it really difficult to have a tight stop loss, or even have a solid stop loss, in my opinion. But yeah, it was kind of a crazy week. Wednesday, FOMC, right, was this candle here, and then Thursday interest rates, and we had this end of the month candle closure. Then Friday starts off the monthly candle, right, and it looks like this right now. So again, let me know in the comments what you think this weekly candle will do. We'll touch back again next week. Little short review. I will do this every week so we can see where the opportunities were. And yeah, let me know. Hit the like button, of course. Make sure to subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next week.